Does it make you old school because you like to talk about Razor's Edge? You know what I mean? In this bully game that's going on right now, does it make you old school because you like to talk about Razor's Edge? Which I don't know what the hell other subject there would be to talk about, but uh, does it make you old school to want to talk about Gray Line? Because, those are pit bulls. You're talking about pit bulls. You're not talking about American bullies. No, we're talking about bullies. Those are pit bulls. Some of them, they were bred from some of the pit bulls that were out there. Some Lightner dogs. They were bred probably by some Finley dogs. You know, they were man, probably, we know for sure they were bred with Kobe dogs. These dogs are fighter dogs, and they were bred by pure fighter dogs. So there was some Feely blood shoved off in there. These are pit bulls. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yes, there were pit bulls put in American Bully, Old Family Reds. You know what I mean? And from what's told, Kobe created the Old Family Reds too. All these dogs were in American Bully, pit bulls. They were. So when you talk about them, why does it seem like you talking about an old school topic? When you talk about the American Bully and you include the pit bull lineage, why does it seem like you talking about something old school? Where did this old school stuff pop up at? That's like crazy right there. Like, so since we talk about dogs of the old that created the breed, these dogs are old school. See, this is where, being somewhat ignorant may get you. I'm not calling nobody ignorant, but when you choose to be ignorant to the breed, that's your fault. If someone is talking to you about Razor's Edge and you reply, that's a old school dog or a pit bull dog, man, to me, it's like you basically just shitted on the whole American Bully breed. You can look at any Razor's Edge dogs and they practically all look the same. You guys already know, as outsiders looking in like myself, people who did not create the breed. We did not create the breed. We are outsiders looking in that helped to formulate the breed, that helped to put this breed together when we acquired dogs, each one of us, and took them to our houses and commenced to breeding them. Those who were breeding them the right way. We are not the ones that created the breed. So you can't really deny the fact that every Razor's Edge dog you see damn near looks the same. And you're going to say that's not the face of the bully? How? How can you say, man, every single dog that is Razor's Edge stamped damn near looks the same? Every single dog. They only take on different formations when you breed them with the new school dogs. And everybody know that's the truth. But when you mention Razor's Edge, oh my gosh, that you're so old school. You're so stuck behind in time. Why? Because the dogs were bigger? Because the dogs actually knew how to fight, which we don't condone fighting, but they knew how to hunt. They knew how to go after something. They knew how to climb. That don't make you old school. That make you a breeder. That make you somebody who actually care about the dog that you're creating. That don't make you old school. That make you a breeder. You're somebody interested in putting together a breed of a dog so that everybody can be breeding the same dog. So why, when somebody talk about Gotti line, G-O-T-T-I line, not the G-O-T-T-Y, because the G-O-T-T-Y belong to Ed Shepherd and Dax. That's the stuff most people love because it's smaller and it's more wrinkly, and there's history behind it to where is it a lie or is it the truth? Is Romeo really his dad or not? We don't know. But we know he's short and you know, he doesn't look like the rest of the dogs from Gotti line, Gotti line. And to be truthful, Dax was bred. His whole entire line was gray line. His whole entire line was gray line. Nope, we didn't breed him. But we can see the pedigree. We know the pedigree. This is not hard. This is not a mystery. We know the pedigree. We can see the pedigree. We've all saw footage of what Ed Shepherd said himself. And we've all saw the dogs. Romeo and Barbie. Two big old dogs that made this little bitty dog. Okay? Two big old dogs allegedly made this little bitty dog. With this, his head always tripped me out. Where'd he get that head from? Y'all talking about the shoulders, and I'm talking about the head, how it's slanted. See, but this ain't it. This ain't about. You know, I ain't really trying to make this about Dax, but Dax is a pretty dog. But his whole lineage is from those old school dogs that y'all say are old. Oh, those are old dogs. But Dax's whole lineage is from those dogs. All gray line dogs behind that dog. And everybody ran to Dax. Everybody ran to Dax. I don't know why, but everybody ran to Dax. And they went and got that dog. And that dog's whole bloodline was gray line. No, nobody wanted to talk about that. They only wanted to talk about the name Dax. That's it. You don't want to talk about what made Dax, who made Dax, how Dax was made, or you don't even want to talk about if that's the real true lineage of Dax. You don't want to talk about that. Or are those really his parents? Well, we know Barbie was his mama. That we know. So when someone speak of Gotti line, Gotti line, how can you sit there and say that that's old school and you old school when you love Dax? Dax came from some of the same spots that this dog came from, that Richard Barajas Gotti line came from. Dax came from some of the same spots. But Dax getting more well known for what? Because he was smaller than the notorious Juan Gotti, and I don't know how that happened when he was bred the exact same way. Real facts, man. Right here on Face the Bully. Even though you can't see my face right now because I'm actually back here doing something. I'm not high. I'm never hiding. Y'all know that. I always like to say hi to my fam, man. Just be chilling out, man. Sometimes I like to talk dogs, so I'm going to talk about these dogs, even if you don't see my face. But right now, let's get back on it. Let's just fuck that. Let's just get right back on it. You know what I'm saying? All right. Yeah, Dax whole lineage comes from some of that stuff Richard Barajas has at Gotti line, Gotti line, not the Gotty. Because there's two Gotti lines. One's Gotty, the other's Gotti. Gotti belonging to Richard Barajas. Gotti belonging to Ed Shepherd, who created Dax, who looks nothing like the lineage where he came from. How can we explain that? How can we explain that? Everybody wants to say you're old school, but your favorite dog came from the old school. And you never mentioned this, but I will. I'll do it for you if you got drunk or high and you just forgot. Well, I got your back, fam. That's what Face the Bully is for. To come on back and tell you about some of these old dogs. Why when people mention Remy, they don't even like to talk about the dogs that made Remy. They were Razor's Edge dogs. No matter if somebody took the dog and bred it, you still bred two Razor's Edge dogs. Everybody know that. You take two dogs that belong to somebody and you take them and breed them. You just reproduce what partner was breeding over there. You didn't do nothing different but take the dogs to your yard and breed them. That's it. So that Remy dog was a Razor's Edge dog who also came back from Greyline, who also came back from, dogs that wasn't Merle. Okay, let's put it like that too. Why didn't none of these dogs was Merle? See, this is all new stuff. The Merles, yeah, all that's new. None of these dogs back in the days was Merle. Remy never had a Merle pup. A Merle pup from Remy? Two Remy dogs? They had a Merle pup? Come on, man. That was somebody else's bloodline that y'all stuck inside that Remy, and Remy had that Merle pup. There was no Merle pups. There was no Merle. Wasn't no heavy influence on tricolors either. All these tricolors, who the hell went out and bred to a Rottweiler? You know what I'm saying? Who the hell went out and bred to a miniature pinscher? Come on, y'all. Let's keep it real. The dogs got to come from somewhere. 3 breeds of dogs, 4. Come on, man. Y'all got to be breeding these dogs, man. Y'all breeding these dogs. They got to come from somewhere. So when somebody talk about Remy and Remy bloodline, why y'all think it's old school? That's not old school. That's what created the American Bully. What dog you breeding? Dax? You got some of this new stuff out here? I like all the new dogs. Trust me, I like them. But they didn't create the bully. They didn't create the bully. Those dogs did not create the bully. Those are names. Y'all don't never talk about Corrupt. Don't never speak on Corrupt. Never ever speak on Corrupt. Corrupt, he did some things in the American Bully world. I remember when everybody loved Corrupt. Used to scream Corrupt, but now y'all don't scream Corrupt. What happened? What happened? Somebody went and bred to a bulldog, and everybody wanted that little bulldog look. And we started noticing that y'all dogs had king tails. Where the hell did that king tail come from? What happened? What happened? Somebody, I need to know what happened. How come everybody stopped breeding Corrupt? Because somebody saw that the dog looked better when it was smaller with a little French bulldog head. And if it was bullier with a little French bulldog head. So now when you talk about Corrupt, you living in the past. Oh my gosh, you need to come out the past. We don't breed Corrupt no more. Man, that's so damn stupid. That's stupid. These are all... That's stupid. These are dogs that created the line. These were dogs that created the American Bully. These were dogs. Now, although Corrupt didn't help to create the American Bully, he came later in the game. You know what I'm saying? Because the American Bully had already been just about established. Like I said, you can breed any two. You can look at anybody's Razor's Edge dogs, and they all look the same. And Razor's Edge was just about complete when Corrupt came about. But he did have, some influence on the game because he was bred to some bullies, But for me to sit here and say that he had something to do with the whole bully breed, he didn't. He came later in the game. But Corrupt is a 90s dog. He was back in the 90s. If you got a bully from the 90s, you got a real bully. You got a bully. You got an American Bully. You need to keep that blood. If you breed in blood from the 90s, in the American Bully game, you need to keep that blood. That's the blood right there. See, because the dogs you looking at now, they don't look like Kobe. Them dogs don't look nothing like Kobe, man. You know what I'm saying? They look like, and I ain't talking about Kingpin because I like Kingpin dogs. But Kingpin got some small dogs. They not big like Kobe. You know what I mean? They not big like Kobe. See, when the small dogs were introduced, everybody, especially a lot of people wasn't even breeders back then. So, you know what I'm saying? Whatever they was getting and adding in there, they was just doing it just to see what they would get, what kind of puppy they would get. Yeah, they were using bully type dogs, French bulldogs, English bulldogs, OD bulldoggies. You know, they was using not the Pekingese yet. They hadn't went that far. They hadn't went that far to the Pekingese yet. You know what I'm saying? But they was using like dogs small with bull faces like pugs and Boston Terriers. But although they probably hadn't used those yet, but I can tell you a couple of people probably snuck a boxer up in there. A couple of people probably snuck a boxer up in there, and a few people started sneaking mastiffs in the game. But you can notice that these dogs wasn't small dogs, and they wasn't going to create no small dog like the dogs that are being created now. These dogs were not small dogs, and they were not going to create small dogs like the dogs that are being created now. Face the bully. These were big dogs. And they were being created healthy because they were big dogs. You know, most big dogs are healthy anyway. They might have some type of problem with them. Nobody's perfect. You know, a spine problem, a leg problem, a rib problem. Some type of problem might occur, but it's not in the breed like that. Like you see right now with these little bitty dogs and things being in the breed. Things, you know what I'm saying, cleft palates being in the breed. One testicle being in the breed. High rears being in the breed. One ear standing up, one ear laying down. I call that shit the sleepy ear. In the breed. Dogs with different color eyes in the breed. In the breed, man. Dogs with tails that kink up like a finger in the breed. See, everybody's so busy trying to make a dollar, you know what I mean, that they don't really care about the dogs no more. They don't care about Corrupt and how Corrupt used to look. Corrupt wasn't funky enough. We could take Corrupt and breed his ass to a motherfucking Frenchie and come up with something better than Corrupt. That's what the game was thinking. See, when you started breeding for money, that's when it kind of like messed up the game. It kind of like messed it up. You know what I'm saying? It was no longer about Razor's Edge. It was no longer about Gotti Line. It was no longer about Remy. It was no longer about Corrupt. It was no longer about Kobe. You had dogs like the Kingpin line starting to be introduced. Like Toad line starting to be introduced. Then you had other people that had French Bulldogs that was breeding them. You know, unknown breeders, people that, you know, everybody in the United States of America knows what a backyard breeder is. So there was plenty of them people around your neighborhood. There was plenty of them that have, you know, dogs they was breeding and then they pass them around and you know how they bad, but you never, you know, there was dogs back in the days that you don't hear about no more. You know what I mean? There was an Edge of Gotti line. There was an Edge of Gotti line, and they say that dog was known for creating micros. It was best known for creating micros. That's what they say about this dog, man. Okay? The Edge of Gotti line, man. So how you know, you got real top-notch people out here that's in the game. They call, you know, they say they top-notch. So I'm going to call them top-notch, you know what I mean? I ain't clowning nobody. We never clown that face the bully. So they say they top-notch breeders. But these people don't have dogs like Edge of Gotti line. And if you bring that kind of dog in there, then, you know, the object is to slander you and get you out of there. Because in reality, your dog is better. I mean, you can't say a dog that cannot chase a ball is a good dog. He can't chase a ball. So how is he a good dog? Some of them can't play tug of war. Some of them you can barely hear them when they bark. But you can always hear them when they snore and they're so brachiocephalic and small and bow-legged. These are the dogs that are bully? Hell fucking no. Them ain't the dogs that are bully. That ain't the dogs that created that shit. Them dogs wasn't even thought of until the early 2000s. People started breeding little fucking Frenchies and shit like that, which I like the dogs, but that's not bully. And we all know that shit ain't no fucking bully, man. That ain't no motherfucking bully, dog. No, that's not no bully. And we need to quit lying. And you know what? Who the fuck cares if you continue to lie? We know what the fuck a bully is. And bully registries ain't gonna let y'all sneak them little bitty dogs up in there and just come up in there and start winning shit and start killing off the breed, because all the dogs are gonna start dying when they can't breathe. They're just gonna die. When you breed two brachiocephalic dogs together, oh my gosh, that could be a horrible thing. It could be just about as horrible as breeding two Merle dogs together. Yeah, those Merles, everybody like, you know, those Merles, I even think they're cute myself. Yeah, Face the Bully think a Merle dog is cute. Quit playing. Merle dogs are sick, but they are sick too. Yeah. Damn, they are sick too. They are sick too, man. And when you breeding them, how can you say that's bully when you know for a fact it ain't? You only breeding it because it's creating money, so you gonna keep stamping it as the bully. And if a motherfucker say it ain't, you gonna tell him it is. If somebody say that bully ain't bully, if somebody say that ain't him, you gonna tell him it is him. He's better than the Edge of Gotti line. Just because you stuff French Bulldog off in him or some this is terrible. This is terrible. You know, when you talk about the dog, it's like terrible. They say it's 5 different types of the bully. Standard, classic, XL, pockets, and now we have a new one, which is called extremes. Yep, and if you ask me, the XL is just as new as the extreme. Okay? It really is. Y'all know it. The XL and the extreme, they're both brand new dogs. Pockets were being created by Paco. There's a lot of dogs off Paco. Y'all need to look at the American Bully. They all Razor's Edge. They all was looking Razor's Edge. Those guys had a whole breed, man. That breed was created, man. Every single puppy looked the same in every fucking body's litter. Now, you got all kinds of litters. You got any kind of litter jumping out right now. It's just all about creating the best dog. There's no one American Bully. There's classes, standard, classic, XL, pockets, and extremes. And they're all different colors. They all different colors. I like them, but they're all different colors. They don't look the same. If the breed don't look the same, it's not considered a breed. You know? I seen a few different German Shepherds in real life. I seen an all black German Shepherd in real life. I seen an all white German Shepherd in real life. And I seen the regular German Shepherd, the golden one with the black saddle on his back. And then I seen one German Shepherd that had a golden saddle on his back. Those were the colors they were coming in that you see walking around on the streets, not on the fucking internet, that you see walking around on the streets. Because these dogs create these colors when they have babies. You don't have to go to the internet and look at the fucking colors and then come back and tell the world what you saw on the internet. You should be able to tell the world what you saw in your city. These same dogs are in your city, but yet and still you breeding bullshit, and then you want to call it the American Bully. It should be one dog for the American Bully, but they don't talk about the dogs that are old school, and if you talk about them, you are old school. Hey man, you could be fucking 20 years old, but if you talk about an old school dog, you are old school. You are old school. This is how this American Bully game is being looked at right now. It's being looked at crazily, man. Like, you know what I mean? You have to put it together to where these dogs look the same as one dog, man. They look the same as one dog. And if they don't look the same as one dog, everybody just breeding what they want to and creating a pack of mutts. We don't want the American Bully breed to be looked at as mutts and to be looked at as a breed that you can come and, you know what I'm saying, just make hella money through. That you could come into this game of American Bully breeding, you know, with bad intentions, not good intentions. We used to do this thing from the heart. But now it's all about money. But I just wanted to ask that question. Why don't nobody talk about the dogs that are old? And then when you talk about the dogs that are old, why would everyone say you old school? Those are the dogs that created the breed. If Louis Doberman told you what created the Doberman Pinscher, you would say he old school if he talked about the dogs that created the Dobie. Come on, man, y'all. I mean, it has to be made to where it's making sense. And when it starts making sense, that's when people will respect the dogs better. And they have to start looking the same. It's just way too many colors. I have now acquired a lilac dog myself, which back in them days when they was creating them old school dogs, they wasn't lilac. All these colors are popping up and everything. It's a whole new dog breed. It's a whole new breed, but not one face. Because everybody chose to turn their back on the real face of the American Bully, which is the Razor's Edge. That's what everybody chose to do. And I just have to say that today on Face the Bully. I hope everybody having a nice day. I hope everybody outside enjoying their weekend, enjoying their day like me. I'm just in the backyard getting suited up. Until we meet again, my friends, and get to talking some more of these dogs. Right here, y'all stay tuned on Face the Bully.